What's up guys, it's Topsy, and here we are discussing the very first character for the SpeedDuel box, Journey to the Stars. That's the name I ended up giving it, and it feels pretty fitting for the set that we're including. Alright then, so what character are we going to be doing for this first set? Well, that very character is Aster Phoenix himself, a character that I feel like was done so dirty by Konami by not giving him enough of his Destiny Hero monsters, and essentially forcing him to play a really crappy deck. Don't get me wrong, the Dragoon deck wasn't bad per se, but let's face it, it didn't feel like a Destiny Hero deck at all. And I wanted to go ahead and fix that by giving Aster a ton of new Destiny Hero monsters, and in addition giving him a very much needed boss monster that he never received in any of the SpeedDuel sets. But before we go ahead and take a look at the deck, I would like to ask that if you do end up enjoying today's video, then a like would be very much appreciated, and a subscribe as well. I am trying to get this channel to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can't do it without your help. But with all that being said, let's take a look at what deck I ended up making for Aster himself. Alright then, so here we have Aster's strategy, and as you can see, it is very Destiny Hero centric, because I feel like this is the deck that he very much needed, that he never ended up receiving. So, before we go ahead and break down the strategy in itself, let's go ahead and go over each of the skills that I ended up making for Aster. So, the first skill that I ended up making is called Rushing Destiny, and the skill reads: once per duel during your main phase, you can send one level 4 lower Destiny Hero monster in your hand to the graveyard. Then add one Clock Tower Prison from your deck to your hand. While Clock Tower Prison is face up on the field, apply the following effect. Each time a Destiny Hero monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, place one Clock Tower counter on that face up Clock Tower Prison. Second effect, if a Clock Tower Prison exceeds 4 counters during your turn, you can pay 500 life points and destroy it. So, I feel like as a whole, this is like a really cool skill in order to make the Clock Tower / Dreadmaster strategy actually work a lot better, without actually breaking the skill, because Dreadmaster is actually a halfway decent boss monster, and I still like the skills that make the deck feel a lot more interactive and not just win immediately. So I feel like this is like a nice little blend for a strategy, and the skill I feel like as a whole is pretty decent. Not only does it allow you to exceed and speed up the process of getting those Clock Tower tokens on it, but in addition, it also gives you a balanced way of destroying your own Clock Tower Prison during your turn. But besides that, the deck has other ways of destroying its Clock Tower Prison as well besides using the skill. So I feel like as a whole, this skill works really well, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And for the second skill for Aster, we have is Here's the Muscle, and it's like a really cute skill in the way that it works. So it reads: once per duel during your main phase, the attack of all face-up Destiny Hero monsters on your field is increased by the number of face-up Destiny Hero monsters on your field times 300. And essentially it's just beatdown but for Destiny Heroes in itself. And as a whole, I think this skill is another great addition to the deck. I feel like if you were to build this strategy, you could use either or and it could work out just fine on either case. But as a whole, I liked both skills a ton, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. But now that we know each of the skills for this deck, let's go ahead and break down the actual deck in itself. Alright then, so starting off we have the classic Destiny Hero monsters like the Diamond Dude, the Doom Lord, the Captain Tenacious. I can't believe we never actually ended up getting Captain Tenacious in the game. It feels almost criminal. It's not a good card, but I feel like if we were to print a new deck for Aster, we'd have to include a card like this in the strategy. So here he is. In addition, since we're very battle centric, we're also going to be adding the Blade Master. Next up, we have the Duelinks trio of Drill Dark, Celestial, and Decider. I feel like as a whole, these cards were phenomenal for the Destiny Hero strategy back in Duelinks, and they could serve the same purpose in SpeedDuels. The only difference here is that for the bare minimum in SpeedDuels, we don't have the mass change, so it's not going to make these cards feel as strong as they actually are. And therefore, it's going to make them feel a lot more balanced, and make them feel a lot more fair when playing in SpeedDuels. So I love this trio a lot for Aster. Next card up we have is Destiny Hero Disc Commander. I'm personally just a really big fan of this card, specifically just because I'm a huge fan of older formats, and I really like this card during that format. It was a little toxic, but yeah, I know. But nevertheless, in the rutted form that this card is right now, I feel like this card is very balanced and super fair, and I would love this card to be somewhat viable in any format. And if it were to be printed in SpeedDuels, I feel like it would serve that very purpose. It's not broken, it's very hard to abuse, and the deck actually has a few ways of summoning it itself. One of the main ways is going to be via the effect of Dreadmaster, or the effect of Dr. D, but we'll get to those in a bit. So continuing on, we also have the Destiny Hero Dread Servant in order to speed up the effect of the Clock Tower Prison, but let's face it, it's not that fast. but it's nevertheless a cool card to have in the game. And finally, the Destiny Hero Dreadmaster. This is one of those cards that is just wild to think of, that Konami never bothered printing into the game. This card is just so intrinsically Aster, and it's one of the main cards I actually associate with him. So I'm just super surprised that it never got printed, and I feel like if he were to get another deck retrain, this card would have to be the focal point of it. So here he is. Moving down, we have the Clock Tower Prison in itself, of course. Dr. D, this is one of the newer pieces of support, and I actually feel like this card is pretty balanced, just because the cards you're going to be summoning are not that good. It's just a lot of these Destiny or smaller monsters, so I feel like that's fine. But my main favorite thing about this spell card is the second effect. The fact that you can target one of your Destiny Hero monsters to gain attack to another Destiny Hero monster, essentially creating that beatdown strategy a lot more effective with the Dreadmaster. So I feel like as a whole, this card's pretty cool. Moving on, we have the Cyclone Blade. A really cool equip spell that never ended up coming to the Destiny Hero strategy, and I feel like with how beatdown strategic it is, this could be really great for the deck. In addition, we also have the Double Cyclone in order to destroy the Clock Tower Prison as well, and destroy an opponent's back row at the same time. We have Over Destiny, just as a legacy support that we already gotten in the past, and Reinforcement of the Army, or Rhoda. Moving on to the trap cards, we have Destiny Signal and Wall of Disruption. These are just two cards that fit the strategy really well. Destiny Signal getting you access to any of your better Destiny Hero monsters, and the Wall of Disruption, your monsters are fairly small, so you need a way to protect them. Speaking about protecting them, we also have D-Shield, another neat way of protecting your Destiny Hero monsters for as long as you need them, and D-Fortune, for whenever your opponent adds your board and you need another turn for protection. As a whole, I absolutely love Aster's strategy. I had a ton of fun building this. I feel like this could be a blast to pilot in an IRL format if it were to actually be printed. But in the comment section below, let me know, what are your thoughts? Personally, as I said, I love it. I think it's really good. It feels very Aster-centric. It feels like it could be extremely fun to play. As a whole, the strategy feels cohesive while feeling not broken. But yeah, of course, I am biased. I did make this, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. But if you guys did end up enjoying today's video, then a like would be very much appreciated, and a subscribe as well. I am trying to get this channel to 500 subscribers, and I can't do it without your help. With all that being said, thanks so much, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.